The meeting with His Holiness the Dalai Lama was really, really exceptional. My takeaway from that meeting as someone who have redefined peace as not just the absence of war, but the presence of conditions that give dignity to all is his understanding that militarism can never bring peace. And I think this is a message that I'm going to keep pushing, as I've always done, that wars can never fix wars, and that peace is possible when we show compassion, when we treat others with dignity, and we give people the right to determine where to live, what to do, just give people their basic human rights. I think that for me was the message. His Holiness has always been an inspiration to many, including myself. And to sit in his presence and listen to him talk about different things from love to compassion to a warm heart, those are the values and virtues that we need in the world that we live in today. So I left there a little sad because he's getting old and he can't move around like he used to. Sad because I wish we had many more individuals in our world like him. But I also left from there inspired that if he, with all of what he has gone through, has dedicated his life to the message of peace and love and compassion, I am also determined to keep doing what I've been doing here. Definitely, women are the backbone of peace. And I believe that in every society, women have what it takes to help strengthen peace, build peace, and bring peace. So I feel like within the Tibetan society, women have been contributing to peace by virtue of the fact that they continue to hold the communities together. They continue to nurture the young people and really pass on some of the values. There's not a single Tibetan child, whether born in India or the US or any part of the world, who will not credit some of the things that they do positively in the world to their mothers. So I think that is the first thing they can do. But I think the second thing is, this is the moment where all those who have been involved, it's time to open up the space and bring the women closer. Let their message be mixed with the message of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Because you see, when we allow only men to be involved, it's almost like trying to see with your one eye cover. You can never see the full picture. So I think where we are now is, and I don't want to say the Tibetan women have not been involved, because I have been to the UN and I've seen those protests. I've been in the halls of the UN and I've seen those women stand up to speak. In March, we will go back to the UN for the Commission on the Status of Women, and the Tibetan women will be there as they've done every other year. So I think they've really been a voice. They've been a part of it. And I think now it's time probably to elevate everything that they're doing here. It's true, the Tibetan struggle has been on for 60 years. And for 60 years, they've done non-violence. And I believe that they should continue in a way of non-violence, because violence is never going to help to solve the problem. If you take cue from Liberia, we fought one of the most brutal civil wars in the history of our world. 250,000 of our 3 million population at the time was killed. 1 million became internally displaced and 500,000 were refugees. Infrastructure destruction. Yes, there was no kind of warring group that could end the war. Non-violence ended the war. And even as the war has ended, we're still living with the sad part of the violence that we went through. I believe that over the last 60 years, the Tibetan people have not just done non-violence, but they've shown everywhere in the world where people have been suppressed that this is the way to go. This is how we do it. Someone will ask, oh, but they did not get their land back yet. It's just a matter of time. I believe that one day the Tibetan people will get their land back, and it will not be through violent means. That's what I believe. I think, let me just say something. This is my first time in any Tibetan settlement. This is my very first time. And to say I'm inspired, and to say I have hope has been ignited in me, it would be an understatement. That a group of people were driven out of their land. They've come to another place. Not only have they established themselves, but they've shown to the world what dignity is, even as refugees. And I think that is the message, that not a single Tibetan in the world should ever see themselves as a refugee that has no hope, because you all have inspired hope in some of us who are not refugees and in refugees across the world. The level of education, the level of development, the level of just the structure that you all have been able to put in place. For me, I believe that this is the way. But I also want to speak to the youth of Tibet that don't get angry to the point of wanting to fight, because war will not solve this problem. Keep speaking for peace. Keep working non-violent for peace. But most importantly, keep preparing yourself, because the time is coming that every education, every knowledge, every skill will be important when you go back to take over your country. Thank you.
Thank you so much.